What is good? We are off and rolling, about to hit start draft on a 1QB, non-tight end premium redraft mock. Because it's redraft season, baby. Let's go. Here we go.
The FF Redraft.
The FF Redraft. We got a tripod and we got Vengo in the 1-1 spot. So
Big D.
Big D, the fourth member of the FFD in there. And we got right off the rip, we're going Justin Jefferson, Bijan. What do you think about Bijan there?
It's too hot.
A little high.
Too high?
It's too hot.
Why do you think it's too high?
Because you need to take CMC first.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
And I'm good. Just going to take CMC first. This is a redraft. What are we doing?
I mean, Bijan could have insane usage
that San Fran offense looks ready to fucking go. Purdy looks back. Like,
yeah,
I'm ready to go.
I mean, I think CMC's a nice pick too, but I mean, Elijah Mitchell coming back, it was when they were together, it was a little points per game were down a little bit. Bijan, could be interesting.
What about Cooper Kupp?
I mean, I think if Cooper Kupp, if there wasn't a little bit of a leg scare there,
he's practicing this week.
Yeah, I mean, it just, it's a continuous hold your breath every time he's out there.
And Marco times out at 1-3.
That's all right.
And Jamar Chase would have been his pick anyways.
Right. If you time out early, I'm not that upset about it. I just need you to get back on track because, picking who you picking. J Mike comes right back with Christian McCaffrey. JMW is off and rolling. What's he going to do? I'm going to go with probably Travis Kelce, but if I had to guess. So, he goes Cooper Kupp. I think he's gone Kupp the last few times. You feel good about that? Where are you taking Travis Kelce?
Don't know.
Don't know? I think you can take him anywhere you want after 5. I think Kupp's probably the right call there, right?
Yeah.
You just
Eckler or Bijan?
Feels like Eckler, but I mean, again, I can't make a great case against Bijan. Like to say that I don't like if you want to take him first overall, I think you got to take Justin Jefferson first overall. But if you want to take him as the first RB, I don't really. I can't make a good argument to say except for that he's a rookie, I guess.
Yeah.
But we've seen rookies with Zeke and Barkley and Najee come in and be top 5 running backs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So there goes Kelce, and we got Tyreek and Diggs. I'm interested to see where Breece goes, where JT goes, where Ramondre goes, where Dalvin goes. So it'll be fun to kind of play all those out. I'm interested to kind of see what the effects of that. We did a slow mock, and I ended up taking Breece at about 4-5, and I probably should have just let it roll to see how much later it would go. Is 4-5 too early for Breece for you?
Maybe.
All right. I mean, if you wanted to take Nick Chubb as the first overall running back
you're
too,
up, you're up, Matt.
No, I'm not. I already picked.
He double picked. Bang, bang.
Boom, boom. Good picks too.
If you wanted to take, Nick Chubb,
I was taking two of the guys you didn't take. Sorry,
yeah.
Casey,
You're good. Nick Chubb has all the upside as that all the other running backs to fit. Like we're talking about, Bijan is probably going to be in some sort of a split with Algier. Now they may be on the field at the same time, but I don't think there's a running back really left that doesn't split. And except for Chubb is probably going to have one of the biggest non-splits, and we know how good he could be if he just catches 20 more balls this season. Going to crush. What you got?
James Conner.
Sure. Saquon, feeling pretty good about a non-split there.
Well, probably. I would say Vegas. Vegas is going to ride the dog shit out of Jacobs as well too.
Yeah, I would assume so. Henry.
Who?
We're live. We can't edit that out, buddy.
Yeah. Who did you think I was going to say?
I wasn't sure. I thought you were going to say Saquon Barkley because of your Penn Stateism. But
you already said Barkley.
Well,
you could also probably throw Cam Akers and Rashad White in that lower end of that category as well too.
Yeah. Potentially, I think Rashad White's probably going to be in a split of some sort. I don't know with whom.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. Who's he splitting time with? Chase Edmonds,
Sean Tucker. All right, so we got Tyreek Hill, we got Stephon Diggs, then Eckler goes. That's probably great value on Eckler right there, right?
Yeah.
And Chubb and I like all 3 of those running backs there. Going
I would have preferred a running back, but
and then you took Lamb Brown, so you're feeling good about your receivers. You don't have to start 3 wide receivers, running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes.
So those will be
a lot of flexibility.
Those will be the
there.
last 2 wide receivers I take for a while.
It looks like an RADP, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, 1.819. So that's right on par, and Chubb 112 going at 110. So I think that's properly rated.
Falling apart.
All right, Garrett Wilson at 2.5, warranted.
No, for sure.
All right,
for sure.
All right. Any concern with St. Brown?
No,
little injury scare, but good to go.
No, I think it's fine there.
What was the injury scare? I didn't know he had an injury scare.
I would you know what? I'd probably take Adams and Wilson over St. Brown.
Yeah, even with J-Mo being suspended and a hammy.
It definitely feels fine taking Brown. I didn't know about an injury scare, but I was definitely thinking about taking Brown, and then I looked at the total points, and I was like, I got to take Derrick Henry.
Yeah, so you guys would rather have Devontae over St. Brown?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so. I would rather have him.
It's probably the right move.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it.
It just doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel great. I don't like his mindset where he's at. He doesn't feel like he's into it and wants to be there.
I don't know if he said that anytime recently.
He's just been...
I think he's about to go there and do what he needs to do and do what he always does and be a top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's not gonna be like, I'm not playing that. Like, I mean, he's gonna go out there and do what he does.
But you pick up a little thing, maybe make it a bigger deal. He's trying to get out of there.
I don't think so. That's not.
Didn't he try to force a trade?
I think he was like, maybe I might be interested in getting out of here after Derek Carr left, but I think that was natural. I don't think there's been a ton of stir at this point. It is what it is. They're paying you a lot of money. You go there, you be with Jimmy, and I think if you're winning cures everything, right?
For sure. But I don't know how much winning they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a surprise team. JT going at 2.7. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Because it seems like it's just a very tenuous situation. The thing that more scares me than anything is like the ankle just seems to be an underlying theme here, and I don't know how much that's being played up or played down.
So I was talking to a good friend of the podcast, Riley Bymaster, about this earlier today, and he had got an offer to move JT, and he's like, oh, with this news with him possibly being traded, does that make it different for you? And I was like, if I'm doing anything with JT right now, I'm probably trying to buy him. I don't think this is really the time to sell him. I think this is probably the time to buy him. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I think this is, if I'm doing anything with JT right now, I'm going to try to see if there's a little window open here to take advantage of a little buy window.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree. He's one of the better backs in
I
the
don't
league.
think he's going to get moved.
I don't know that he's going to get moved either. It's more the ankle that's got me a little worried. That I haven't. It doesn't seem like there's been a clear definition that he's 100% healthy yet. And then he was back, and then he left the team for personal reasons. And some people were talking about maybe some private rehab. Some people were talking about maybe getting stem cells, private rehab. So interesting, just some underlying themes, and it's hard to differentiate what's true, what's not, who's throwing mud, who's who's doing what here. So it's just a bit of a sticky situation. Jacobs, on the other hand, I feel like should be in the second round without a doubt right now, right?
You probably should take him over Taylor at this point.
Right. I mean, Pollard seems like a lock to be just crushing fantasy points, right? So that seems like an easy trigger pull. Jalen Waddle or Josh Jacobs? Feels like it's got to be Jacobs, right?
I'd take Jacobs.
Yeah.
Just because of the Hill factor.
Najee or Jacobs?
Najee.
I think it's Jacobs.
I think it's Jacobs too.
Oh, give me the Steelers offense.
Yeah. All right. So we're starting to build out some teams here. We got some rainbows. We got some quarterbacks early. We're kind of moving pretty quick here. Mahomes going early. Josh Allen going early. Jalen Hurts at 3.6, and then Lamar Jackson at 3.9. So let's see where so 2.11.
I don't want to take
3.02 is our ADP for Allen and Mahomes. So I guess that's right on cue. I guess for me it's just like gets a little crazy there, but those are the guys that average that 25 points a game, and we know Lamar can be up in there. So I guess it can be warranted because those guys could be difference makers. I have a hard time doing it because we're going to get to the end of this thing, and I'm going to still be able to get Daniel Jones, who has top 5 upside to me. The offense getting better. So there's a bunch of quarterbacks late, but it's still, if you can get an extra, Burrow was at 21, and the cutoff was Hurts, Allen, and Mahomes being at like 25 points per game. So I guess I can get down with it. Starting with Justin Jefferson, Najee, and Gibbs, that's a really fun start right there. I like that. So the one spot, paying dividends. The 1-2, you got Bijan, Josh Allen, Devonta Smith at 3-2. Let's see here. Is there any receivers you'd rather have there than Devonta Smith? T. Higgins, Calvin Ridley, Debo?
No.
Devonta Smith there, right?
Yep.
Would you have gone Jacobs there, though? I think I would go Jacobs instead there. And then, you might have a different team philosophy of your build. But
I think I need to talk to Mr. Van Gogh about Gibbs there. That seems a little spicy for
it's not
redraft.
Up, what's going on here?
So, with Gibbs and in redraft in general, I feel like you gotta take some shots. Like, you're not going to win without extreme upside. So I think there's the upsides there, and it's fun. What you got?
Sorry, you just took Burrow there.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do.
Woo.
Ooh,
Got rushed into it.
ain't no way, man.
I didn't want to take another wide receiver there. And
No consideration for Brees.
Nah, it feels too early for him.
Aaron Jones.
What wide receivers? Amari, D-Hop, Terry.
You
DJ
definitely could have
Moore,
taken
Judy.
Keenan.
Yeah, I probably should have, but I'm fine. I'm fine with Burrow there.
We're mocking.
I'm really fine with Burrow there.
Can't take a quarterback that early.
I
Too many.
I'm probably
It's
not
too many.
I'm probably not taking one that doesn't have the rushing as much rushing.
And he's
upside.
already hurt.
He's fine now.
He's fine.
How you guys feel about Mixon? You feel
Love him.
comfortable?
I don't like it either.
He beat the Charges. He's good to
I'm
go.
not worried about mixing
How many
bit.
lives does this man have? He
Well,
just
what-
keeps getting not guilty charges.
Right. So I think it seems like you might be in the clear here. Like he got everything even
Yeah.
dismissed. We're not even
Yeah.
on the Alvin Kamara where we got things reduced.
Yeah, no.
We're dismissed. It feels like you're in free and clear here,
in
right?
redraft, wheels up Mixon. There's
Yeah.
no reason he shouldn't be a top 8 running back this year.
Yeah, I could dig it there. I could dig
And I
it.
took him as wide running back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm down with it. I'm okay with him. He should get all the work. So there's Brees at 4.7. I took him at 4.5 in the last slow mock we did. We got a full course of wide receivers here, so he could start all 4 of those guys if he wants. In the 1-8 spot, he's got Diggs, Wilson, Ridley, Cooper. How you guys feel about all blue to start your draft?
a lot of short guys. Maybe not short. I guess none of them are really that short.
That does not matter at all.
I know.
Great
Just wanted to say
analysis.
it. Yeah.
You really put the anal analysis.
I
don't hate it. I'm not mad. You want to take 4? Just take the best player. Who's the best player
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
take? If you start with 4 wide receivers, fine. You start with 4 running backs, I'm fine. You got 2 flexes, I'm assuming, and
I probably should have taken DK or Keenan over Burrow.
Yeah, I'd be down with Keenan there. Just that back half of that. If you look at the back half of his 2022, it is rock solid.
What's the over under on Big D taking Miles Sanders here with one of these 2 picks?
guaranteed. Fats could snipe him there. Here, we got a question in the chat. Just a random side note. I think it's a keeper league question. So, yeah, Blind hits us up. Says 10 team, 1 quarterback, redraft keeper league. Would you rather keep Hurts in the 4th or Olave in the 9th?
What was it? Hurts in the 4th or
Hurts,
Olave in the 9th?
It's 10 teams, so that's probably about where Hurts went in this draft if you break it down to 10
I'd rather have
team.
Olave at the 9th.
I think so too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can come back and hopefully maybe grab another quarterback a little early. I think, again, once you even get shallower with 10 and 8 man, those difference-making players at tight end and quarterback can really help you out. But the value of Olave in the 9th, I think, is probably the way to go there.
Look at Big D with a Penn State stack there at the turn.
Big D goes Godwin, Miles Sanders.
Penn State.
I wish he was here. The thing that has maybe concerned me most in the offseason or in the preseason here has been Carolina's offensive line. I had that penciled in for a mid-level offensive line, and they have been god awful. Icky's been bad in his sophomore year here, letting a lot of pressures up early, and I thought that was going to be a decent line, and it is looking like a not so great line right now. So they got some things to work out there, but Miles still an interesting pick. Godwin there, again, a little risk, but the upside is true to roof with Godwin there because we don't exactly know who the quarterback is and how that offense is going to run. Could be a dumpster fire, but dumpster fires can still put out good fantasy points. So, D. Pierce, our guy Pierce, going at 411. Love that. The bigger pundits, some coming around on Dameon Pierce. Looks like Singletary going to be the change of pace. What a shocker. And Singletary going to get all the usage. That's weird. It's almost like he's really good or something. I don't know. It's crazy.
It's Devin Singletary?
Dameon Pierce. Singletary going to be the change of pace. You're getting all the...
That's news?
Well, news to a lot of people because they thought, Singletary's in there. It's going to be a split.
Nobody likes Singletary.
Pierce's job is in trouble.
I'm a Pierce denier, and I would have even said that Pierce is better than Singletary.
Yeah, nobody likes Singletary.
Plenty. It doesn't matter if they
Same
like
people
him or
that don't
not.
like Pierce.
They don't like Pierce.
Singletary
comes in there. Well, why'd they bring another guy in if they like Pierce so much? Well, it's called depth and a rotation. And Dameon Pierce, all of a sudden in the preseason, getting all the usage, short down, his third down, goal line, all the things that he could never do, he's getting. Not that it really matters in the preseason, but.
Well, I mean, he's healthy. That's good. They need some work with the starters. Their season starts already.
They love that man.
Yeah.
The coach is in love with Pierce, the tone setter. So let's see. All right, so Dobbins is the first running back on the all wide receiver team there. You guys feeling comfortable with Dobbins?
It's starting to turn around, right?
I mean, it should, yeah.
Starting to turn around.
If Dobbins is their every down guy and can be healthy and is there, then that's a steal, right?
Gus
at 5'8".
I feel like Gus still gets
and now
some
you got
work
Melvin
there.
there.
They said Melvin might not make the team.
Yeah, I mean, he may not, but it's a good insurance policy for them for cheap.
Waller was lighting it up in the preseason. I know he's been lighting it up in practice. They had to take him off the field so that Dan Jones would throw to somebody else. But then you get into the preseason, he was just getting peppered, looking awesome. I cannot wait to take Darren Waller in redraft this year.
I'm just taking my boys here.
Aker and White. I think those are great picks, man. I think both of those guys, like you stated earlier in the beginning of this thing, there's not a ton of competition that can take them off the field right away. Is Kyron getting a little love right now? But and Evans looks decent, but he's playing late.
Ronnie Rivers is also looking half decent too.
Cam Akers is finished strong last year, and I can't make a compelling case against him. And in 1 year, it takes the risk out of really much, and the upside is there. And same thing with Rachaad White. Rachaad's just in a good position to just hit the ground running with scoring a decent amount of fantasy points. PPR upside's huge. Like I said, the offense may be a dumpster fire, but if they get down and they're down bad, that could just be check down city for White there. And if it isn't, then he'll be in the mix and should be for sure the 1AA in that offense. And there, I'm sure there'll be a B, but he's probably got a little bit more leash than a lot of some of these other backs. So interesting there. So you go Fields at 6'2", huh?
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was feeling some Madison. He went got taken right in front of me. I would take Mike Williams, but I already have Keenan, so I was like, that's not the worst. I actually have Keenan and Mike Williams on the same Dynasty team. And then it's a great best ball strategy to take them boys. If you could get Herbert on that team, too, you'd just be slaying.
Except when they don't slay, then your whole team's screwed.
They pretty much slay, or they're not playing. If they play, they pretty much slay.
How much longer does James Conner last is the question.
I was thinking about taking him.
Christian Kirk could have been a good pick there too.
Yeah, I thought Kirk. I don't mind. I wouldn't mind Conner right there.
I'd love to take Mike Evans. The way Jigba looks in his preseason, he looks like a good play. Javonte was out there. Javonte Williams was out there playing.
I think you could YOLO it to Javonte there.
Yeah, for sure.
There he goes.
Bang. So we got some builds kind of taking place here. We got our guy JMW. He's got Kupp, Waddle, Jacobs. Love that. Judy, stud. The great tight end in Hawkinson, and then our fun stab at running back. That's a fantastic start to a team there. Our guy J Mike, who will for sure have Tanks Bigsby's in a few rounds. But he's got Christian McCaffrey, Olave, Ramondre, Kenny Walker. How you feel about Kenny? Starting on with a little bit of a nick. Feeling all right about him 4-9? Not for you?
Kenneth Walker?
As your RB3, I think it's fine.
Yeah, and then Ayuk and JSN.
You could make a case for Pierce over Walker.
I would take Pierce over Walker for sure.
Sanders and Walker, probably maybe Sanders as well too. But I don't hate it.
Yeah,
because Walker has the big play,
the home run ability, make your play in
Pierce
one
and
day.
Sanders don't have.
Just needs to be healthy on the field, and he's good. But certainly going to be splitting more than Sanders and Pierce. But could be on a better offensive line, better situation. So interesting to see. But I think I'm with you there. Breece Hall at 4-7, man. I can't not draft him there. I feel fine about that.
Yeah, it's fine. It just makes me feel uneasy.
Yeah.
You know, you're not getting much the first.
Probably
weeks.
4 games. You're probably at least got to temper expectations, and then I think you could start seeing. I think it comes down to what Aaron Rodgers kind of wants there.
And Dalvin's not healthy or know the playbook yet, so.
I'm not worried about him knowing the playbook. Like, it's one of the easier positions to come in and figure out and do your thing. It's not like, a receiver or a tight end.
How about to Trent Richardson?
Well, we know how that worked out in the end.
Dalvin is kind of like a receiver, though.
So, I think they'll be fine. They'll get him in. He'll be acclimated to what's going on. He can get in that playbook for a couple weeks, and he's been there now a week or two. There's 2 more weeks until the season starts. So, it's a good move by them. But Breece for me, redraft wise, if he would slip any further, I'd be down with it. But 4-7 feels fine to me. I feel like he's going to be a guy that I guess it kind of stinks to not take somebody you want to count on all season, but he could be just huge for you by week 10. But obviously you still need to be in the dance once it comes to week 10.
Yeah.
So, some people will cite an ACL there and be like, "Hey, I don't want anything to do with the ACL running back." But
I'm not worried about that.
It'll be by that point he'll be well over a year.
And he's a worker, bub.
Back, and I think he's just #built different. Mark in Mexico just gets a steal of his first running back there with James Conner. Like, the upside's true to roof.
Yeah, if he can stay healthy all season, which he hasn't done, but
and we know the Cardinals are probably going to be not great, especially with Colt McCoy under center. But I saw some splits today with Hollywood and Colt, and I don't think there's really much to be concerned there. I think you're going to be just fine with Hollywood starting the season with Colt.
And you're probably not getting that many games with Colt. I would say 1 or 2.
I could go 4 again. Same kind of deal. Like, you get 4, bring Kyler back.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to be long.
No.
Some people are like half the season. I'm like, I don't think that's happening. And I wouldn't be shocked if game 1 they were like, fuck it, Kyler's playing.
Yeah.
They did just pay him a lot of money though, so maybe they want to make sure.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, if they're as bad as they say they are, then maybe they just chip them off.
Right. Well, yeah.
Or as bad as we think they are.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at some builds here. Kelsey team, he doesn't need a tight end for the rest of the draft. Taylor Hurts, so if Taylor plays, it's fantastic and is what Taylor could be. Then we got Hurts at 3-6, so there's a nice potential positional advantage, and he's got Breece, and then Watson, Kirk, Dotson. Not my favorite team for Breece to maybe be on, because it seems like you might need a running back to start the season here.
Yeah. Maybe should have taken James Conner over Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I could see that. But next team, we got Tyreek Hill, Tony Pollard, ETN, McLaurin, D-Hop, Kamara, T-Law. Probably pass on the quarterback again for a little while if I'm him. But I like that running back start. I like Tyreek Hill. D-Hop's, I don't know how long Treylon's going to be out and how long that knee's going to linger and affect him. But, geez, man, you just got so much more. I feel like the DeAndre Hopkins value has definitely just took a little bit of an upswing for me, and I think he's going to be just fine there. But that Treylon thing could linger all season. We don't exactly know. Hopefully he comes back healthy. I have big hopes for Treylon this year, but not scared to take D-Hop, so I don't hate that. And then Kamara, I think after week 3, it's going to be fucking wheels up, and Kamara, the Saints look like they're spry. I've been liking what I've been seeing or at least that first week when we saw Carr out there, and that offense they seem like they kind of got a bit of the old proverbial chip on that shoulder there. And I think they're going to come back and be they've been a tough out, but I think they're going to continue to be a tough out and continue to grow. Once you get Kamara back on the field with Olave and Michael Thomas and Juwan Johnson, and if we get Shaheed back, we get another vertical threat there, and you got a 3-headed monster potentially in the running back room, all kind of offer something different.
Yeah.
So I don't hate the Saints. The D's always good.
Is it though?
We got some questions if you guys want to.
Sure.
Were you unhappy with that pick of mine at 7-12, Mr. Wayne?
Yeah, I definitely had Flowers in the queue. I don't know why I took Swift. And
I mean, I love that. Like, I'll take Zay Flowers over Mike Evans for sure. He went 7-4 for J. Mike. I was
trying to look at our ADP. Zay is up there at 805, so it's fine. Fine pick.
What are you doing with Mike Evans this year? They're loving him. They're saying he's great, and we know he's great. But like, how excited? Like, feels like Godwin could be all right because it's like, hey, we could get stuff off to him. Mike Evans seems like that guy who you need a little bit more time. Seems like a down the field kind of guy. I just feel uncomfortable with Mike Evans this year.
I think it'll be fine.
You think so? I
mean, it's 7-4.
If he's good, then that's just a bargain for how good that guy has been. Nothing but perennially awesome.
Yeah,
I'm just having a hard time with him right now because I don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be.
Yeah. What are those? What questions you got over there, Hoss?
Trying to get some clarification here. Steve says he's got a dynasty startup question: Superflex, tight end premium, 2 wide receiver, 3 flexes. I'm not sure. Oh, 3rd round reversal as well as drafting from the 6th spot. How would you start the team? I'm thinking QB, and then best available. I'm thinking Herbert, Lamar, and Tua or Watson. So, yeah, with that 6th pick, you got to take a quarterback, in my opinion. And at the 2nd round pick, you can kind of do what you want there. You don't have to force a quarterback talk.
You can't force a quarterback there.
Yeah, don't go in with preconceived notions of what you're going to do. There's probably a limit to the quarterback that I want to take. He said 6, so he's going to be at 6 again on the
7, I guess.
7.
Yeah,
2-7.
I'm
Kyler falls there.
I'm fine with Kyler or Watson if he falls there.
Yeah,
no, I don't see Watson being
probably there. Not, but you never, you don't know.
Narrative's down around Watson. He might be slipping a little bit.
So those would kind of be the quarterbacks that I'd be on the lookout for.
Somehow Richardson's still there.
Yeah, sure.
It seems doubtful, though.
If you take Kyler, then you got to for sure come back and lock up a decent 3rd if you want to compete this year.
Yeah, but then you could pick up like a Baker.
You could get Kenny Pickett. You could get
you could go real cheap.
You could get Geno.
You get a nice 3rd.
Matt Stafford,
Purdy, Stafford. Yeah. So
Russell.
Those have certainly been some options that I've started with.
Back to this draft, I just wanted to add a point into my 7-11 spot here. Wasn't sure what to do, kind of a no man's land, but a ton of quarterbacks still on the board right now.
Yeah.
So that's why you wait, because Deshaun's still there. Tua, huge upside. Aaron Rodgers will probably crush it, could win MVP. Who knows? Anthony Richardson's still available. Geno's going to score a ton of points. Daniel Jones is going to score a ton of points. Jared Goff's going to score a ton of points. Like, there's just no reason to force a quarterback early. Like,
I mean, if you want to take Fields there, there is a bit of a
number 1 overall quarterback upside,
especially if he takes one more step forward here. Then
all he needs is a good screen pass. Just throw the screen. That's
negative air yards, but oh man,
Mr. Can of Beans.
That yard per pass, though.
Yeah, now Jason likes DJ Moore. Did you know that?
All about it.
After all the Bean slander.
All about it.
What a turnaround! It was just, he's got his ass chewed out by some guy on YouTube, and that really just changed his tune.
That was not it.
Oh, sure.
Come at me, though.
Sure. All right, let's get back to business here. We got lots fats on the clock here.
By the time out.
Got a fun.
I don't see a green dot.
I don't see a green
He
dot.
doesn't have
either.
a green dot the whole time.
Maybe he's got a Q in there. Odell, definitely not a Q.
Nope, went on auto. Loss.
So we got
no, it's on auto.
We got Pickens, Goddard, DJ Moore, Pierce, Devonta Smith, Allen, Robinson. How you guys feel about that? That team, not not doing it for me. I don't think.
Who? Fats' team?
I mean, DJ Moore could be awesome, but it's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm taking a shot on DJ Moore in redraft. Although, I mean,
fuck it.
I guess.
I like it more than Marquise Brown.
Yeah,
Feels kind of the same to me.
it feels like Marquise.
I think I like it more than Pittman.
Feels like Marquise is.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
For 1 year, sure.
Feels like Marquise's upside. Like it depends on how quick Kyler comes back, and if Colt's all right with Marquise, I feel like the PPR upside way outweighs what DJ Moore is going to do. The DraftKings over under for old Fields was what, like 2,700 yards?
Yeah.
Like
Smash the over.
Smash the over. It's all relative. If Fields takes a step
7
forward,
screen passes.
we know how great Moore is. So yeah, I guess I'm out of line there, but I'm fine with that.
You're out of your element.
Out of your element, Donnie.
Mike back to Mike Evans said, "What does Mike Evans have to do? Literally every situation, feast or famine, he's been tremendous."
He has been, and I noted that, but it's just like this feels like a super, like at least Jameis passed for 5,000 yards. Like I don't, or damn near it. Like Baker doesn't have that, doesn't have that dog in him like Jameis does.
Like a lab. Like
yeah.
Dumb dog.
And it could be Trask, and I mean it could be an awesome pick. He could just crush. I'm very worried about. I feel okay about Godwin, but Evans just feels like, and it could be the complete opposite. We could be worried about Godwin and not Evans, but Evans has supposedly been tremendous and is just crushing. Gabe Davis, I love that shot. That's like the new Mike Evans, just a big guy down the field.
I was considering Evans. I was considering Davis.
That's slander. That's slander.
I was considering Davis when I took Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I mean, I got to take Elijah Moore, but I like the ninth round swing on Davis. I know it's not fun and sexy, and everybody. He was a punchline for a minute, but I mean, he could be useful, and we're thinking Kincaid's going to be the 2, but we don't allow guys to get better, and if they're not awesome right off the rip, then he sucks, and it's like, what's Gabe Davis going into year 3 here, year 4? Where are we at? Year 3?
I think it is year 4. Yeah, it's year 4.
Yeah. So he's going into year 4 here. I guess you could say what he is, but like there's room for him to improve. There's been flashes, big fast guy who can get down the field in a fun offense. I mean, Diggs says he's breaking out this year, so it must be true.
Gotta be true.
But
Diggs says he's breaking out of Buffalo too. No, Stephen A. Smith said that Diggs is breaking out.
Yeah.
And Diggs was like, nuh-uh.
Yeah. Like the little Tony shot there for Fats as he returns.
No, that was an auto.
Was it?
He's back now, though.
He's back on the green.
I think that was also an auto.
It was.
Probably staying off Tony right there, although, the ultimate upside pick at this point. I love that Bateman grab there and a nice Herbert grab by Ryan Jay-Z there with the Brees. So I think Herbert could see the opposite of Brees potentially, where he's really strong to start the season, and by the end of the season, maybe it's a bit more of a 3-headed monster there to end the season. But Herbert, by all means, right now looks like he can be the lead dog, and lead dogs hunt. So, I like I like the shot on Herbert there. Penny's interesting. I think Gibson was a good shot. This Marco has just built a nice little room there of really solid shots. Connor seems like he could be your locked in guy, and then Dylan and Gibson, week to week could be a headache, but I think those are good shots there. Dylan looks like he's kind of back a little bit, and Gibson in this new Bieniemy offense could be very beneficial. Good in the screen game. Like what Vengo's doing there at the end with Jefferson, Najee, Gibbs, Godwin, Miles, Hollywood, Addison.
Yeah, I like his team better than
A-Chain,
mine. That's what
Sharpe.
happens when you don't be a dumbass and overdraft a.
Just needs to get
win.
maybe another receiver he feels really good about here at the end. But I like the running back stabs. Sharps and A-Chain are fun shots at that point. Brandon Cooks 8-6 with that Tony Pollard Kamara team. Yeah, I like these shots. I like the shots of Cook and Sky Moore there.
I think I panicked and just took Jameson Williams. I don't know why. Can you take him? Can you hold him for 6 weeks, man?
Yeah, I don't think you can take Jameson Williams there. That's way too early. You're missing 6 games.
Yeah.
I can't be.
Running backs are, oh my God, the running back landscape here is awful.
It's pretty dry out here right now.
It's very dry.
I like what the four wide receiver starts did. He went Dobbins, Pitts, Montgomery, who I think is going to be a just fine, RB2 most weeks, and then Pacheco isn't my favorite shot, but you never know. I would.
I only took Jameson a little bit early according to ADP.
Yeah, some of that ADP's probably got. Well, I guess not.
You know what? Oh, screw it. I'm taking my guy.
Jacoby. I mean, I don't hate your team over there. I mean, I wouldn't take Burrow that early, but Mixon, Akers, Rashad White, and Lamb and CD. I mean, you got that's a and then Zay and Elijah Moore. I like all those guys. Ingram, is what it is there.
I'm taking Ingram for the touchdown upside there.
Yeah, I'm big into. I'm fine with Ingram there. Sure.
Man, I
like Schultz.
This is where you can clean up on tight end and quarterback right now. No one knows who to take. This is when you can take your quarterback
Jay
and your
Mike's
tight
heart
end.
just got ripped out. Tank Bigsby just went.
And Njoku's still out on the board. Chig.
I like this BMAT team. He's got Chubb, so he locks down just a bona fide week in, week out potential RB, the RB1 overall. And he's got St. Brown and Higgins and DK, which are just 2 guys each week who can be just league winners. Then he's got Madison, who I know nobody really likes Madison right now, and they're saying that he's this year's Chase Edmonds, this year's Mike Davis, and it's like I don't view it like he's either one of those guys. Like he's been there, he's had good games, he's gonna be their guy. Ty Chandler looks fine, but I don't think there's really any scary number 2 back there that's really gunning for his job as long as Madison's healthy. I think in the 5th round. I don't think there's, outside of maybe Dobbins right there. I don't think there's another guy I'd rather have there as a potential every week starter. I don't hate that at all. Then he goes Herbert, which he could be in that difference making quarterback club, and you're getting him in the 6th, middle of the draft. Basically, I'm fine. What do you guys think about Dalvin in the 7th?
I mean, it's probably going to be great to start, but what are you going to get down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I took Swift right after him. I think I got to go Swift over Dalvin, and then probably not taking a running back anymore. I think I got to try and get my running backs before then.
This tells me that I got to get my running backs early because it dries up quick. Like, there's some guys I'm interested in, but no one I'm interested in for, 3 rounds.
Well, the RB 2 overall is still out here, and I don't know how somebody hasn't drafted him yet, so we'll just wait for that.
Jaylen Warren.
Yeah, I
mean, such a dick.
Come on. What are we doing?
Here, we got a dynasty question I want to squeeze in here from my man Aiden Roberts. He says, Superflex 1.5 tight end Prem. Should I give up Olave and Ramondre for Dobbins and A.J. Brown?
Run that by me again.
Olave and Ramondre for Dobbins and A.J. Brown.
I think I'm holding Olave and
Ramondre. That's what Big D said as well. I could go either way.
Matt looks like he's going maybe the other way.
I think you're gambling a little bit on Dobbins, but it could pay off.
I think I'm...
Ramondre, Dobbins, probably about properly rated according to each other. You can take your pick
I
there.
think I'm going to fuck around and take the A.J. Brown Dobbins side.
Okay.
I can't be mad you want to go acquire A.J. Brown. You know?
I mean, he's the best piece of
best player in
the trade, and I don't think there's that big of a difference. Is the difference between A.J. Brown to Olave enough for you to go with Dobbins over Ramondre?
I think the gap between Ramondre and Dobbins right now may be a little bigger than the gap between Olave and...
I think that's fair.
But I think it was climbing up for Dobbins, and then we got kind of cloudy there for a second, and now it kind of went back down, and now we're maybe, ascending again a little bit. I think the first couple of weeks will tell you a lot with Dobbins. I mean, it's either going to be wheels fucking up.
I wanted to see him catch some goddamn passes.
Yeah. DCHQ over here, he's got Eckler and Adams to start, and then Lamar. So that's a really, really solid start of just your first 3, all 3 positions putting up top tier numbers.
I just don't know how I feel about Aaron Jones. I don't.
I like it.
I think it's fine.
You think that's
no,
too
no,
early?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. I just don't know how I feel about him.
Okay, I feel like I think this is going to be a super balanced offense. I think the Packers are going to be running the ball a decent amount. I think Aaron Jones is going to be a big factor. That offensive line's still really good, and he's a great pass catcher. He's going to be Jordan Love's best friend. I think. I think A.J. Dillon, will continue to have a big role as well, but I think Aaron Jones is going to be their guy on third downs and pass catcher, and also an extremely efficient runner as well. He's all he does is score fantasy points. So I'm fine with Aaron Jones at that point. Wait until the fourth round, down with that, and then I like the Lockett. So he's got a dynasty team that you'd be like, oh, I don't like that, but the redraft, man, you got just old veterans that are have been there before and have come through for fantasy points season after season after season. Lockett, I'm sure, is still going to be producing at a pretty high clip. Kittle at 6'4". I mean, as soon as Brock Purdy took over, we saw the George Kittle kind of reemerge a little bit. Now Debo was banged up throughout some of that, but the Niners offense, if they're going to be humming at the clip where they were those last 7-8 games where they're going to be a 28 to 30 point a week offense, then there's enough for a lot of the players on that to be relevant, because the TDs, when they don't have big games, they could have TDs and really help them out. So, Kittle being a little forgotten right now. Dynasty, maybe you're not buying as much into Kittle, but as redraft, I mean,
is their defense too good?
I don't think so. They're just slapping people. So, but maybe a little correction this year, and then you get James Cook, which that's a shot. I don't know how you feel about Cook there.
Fine,
but I like the shot of Cook. Michael Thomas, again, if Michael Thomas is on the field for 17 games, 16 games, I think that's, he's probably going to well outperform the 8.4 ADP. The only thing you're worried about him is not being on the field. You saw for a very brief stretch last year him go right back to dominating. And I think
very brief.
I think Derek Carr is, a better quarterback than Andy Dalton and Jameis Winston.
Hot take there.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people are like, it's not really that different. I think it's a decent amount difference.
Yes.
I know Derek Carr gets shitted on, but he's had some pretty
it's 'cause
high
he looks
ups
like he wears
too.
eyeliner,
Right,
that's
sure.
why.
He kind of brings some of it on himself,
Yeah.
it seems. But Michael Thomas is a great pick, and then Brian Robinson. Like, it feels like all his picks are safe with upside, and I like that. With the exception of Cook, I don't know how safe that is, but a lot of upside there. And a 7th round running back. Let's go. Lazard, could easily be the Jets wide receiver 2 all season long. And then Tyler Boyd, not my favorite, but if there's an injury there, I think he comes right in and gives you great production. You got a little Rashee Rice there. Thielen, 111, huh?
Too much?
He was stealing it.
I mean, who are you even taking here? You got some rookies with some upside. You got some backup running backs. He could lead that team in catches.
He could.
He probably will. If I had to bet, I would bet on that.
He certainly could. Could be Hayden Hurst.
I would bet that it's not Hayden Hurst.
I'd probably lean Gallup there just because it's not a rookie quarterback with a potential shaky O-line all of a sudden.
Overdraft.
Overdraft?
No,
Roshan.
He's getting the third down work. I think he can be the starting running back there by.
I could take Gallup.
Yeah, I love me some Gallup. Get you a late round receiver with some good. Had some good.
But where
seasons.
is he at in the pecking order? Is my concern.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think you lost Schultz, who was high up in that pecking order, and maybe Ferguson will be that guy for them to come in.
They
and
were
be.
talking a lot about him.
He seems like he's grabbed a hold of that starting tight end position, but Gallup's going to be your guy who doesn't like. He's going to be the guy who stays out wide every single play, which is what they need. So I feel like Gallup being on the field is a good bet a lot of the time. And we know that Dak and Gallup have had a rapport in the past. He kind of gives them what they need. He seems to be 100%. He didn't look confident out there last year. We were talking, last year we were saying, hey, I was saying I like Gallup. You said I like him, but maybe more of a play for next year. It's next year. And, they brought in Cooks, which I like. But I think Gallup will have, do I want to count on Gallup every single week? No, but in the 12th round here, I think he can, really get you through some times when you don't have Jameson Williams for 6 weeks. Algier going 11. Big run of running backs there. Kendre, which if we're going to start shooting on running backs, Kendre's got to be up there. And then Jalen Warren, J. Mike, getting the overall RB2 there. And then Mostert, just probably the best left. You guys are saying, who do you even take? And it's like, well, you got to take Mostert, right? I mean, maybe he gets hurt, maybe he doesn't, but he seems like he's going to be the guy leading that committee.
Yeah.
And he's still got juice.
He's still out there?
No, J. Mike took him at 10.
Yeah.
10-9 there. So I think that's a great late round running back stab. And then coming back with Jalen Warren, again, I feel like because we give out so much Najee love around here, it feels like people might think we hate Jalen. It has nothing to do with hating Jalen Warren. I like Jalen Warren a lot. I think he's a good player. He deserves to be out on the field some more. But at the end of the day, it'd be the outlier for Jalen Warren to come in and be at a 50-50 or be the number one. That's not what the Steelers and Tomlin have ever done.
No.
And, and it's not that he shouldn't. Like, again, we've talked about this multiple times. Like, how long did it take for that drumbeat of Pollard to come through for that crowd?
Yeah.
It took years. And don't the Cowboys seem similar to what the Steelers are? And
regardless
foundationally,
regardless of how much you want to make fun of the Cowboys, they're I don't know. I don't want to say they're a good franchise, but they're not like the Jets or like the Commanders.
Right.
Like the Cowboys have been like the laughing stock. They're just always overhyped. But
right. Well, that's just because what the media gets clicks from it. So just what it is. There's a lot of Cowboys fans out there. Love that tight end shot there at the end for your first tight end. J. Mike, I would have went Schultz and went Everett a little later, and just grabbed two of them or Higbee. If I miss my tight end in redraft, I want Goddard and Higbee at the end there. And and our boy Juwan Johnson looks him and Carr look like they're already buddy. So I like that. Singletary, Marco, he just went all decent amount of wide receivers and then a bunch, and he's got snuck Romeo Dubs, our guy in there. You a Romeo hater?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Romeo, where art thou, Romeo?
It does seem like Jaden Reed will be the slot guy for them.
Yeah.
And that's probably really, really good value there at 12-6. I could see him being up a round or two. I think Dubs should be up a few rounds, but I'm not going to be the one that drives it up. So I think it makes more sense for Reed to maybe be in Dubs' place and Dubs maybe to be up in the 8th round there. Because I think Dubs is about to eat with Jordan Love. Marvin Mims, nice shot. Shaheed, nice shot. Then Kyler for Fats as a little second quarterback. You think there's anything to drafting a guy like Kyler right here, sticking him on the IR, and then maybe being able to trade a guy like Kyler for somebody who needs some upside?
I feel like the trading and redraft leagues is just...
It feels like tight ends are like, potentially the best asset to maybe. Obviously, you want a great running back or a great wide receiver that's expendable, but like outside of that, a tight end might be, like a year when like Waller came out of nowhere. If Waller was your second guy and you had Kelsey, like you'd be able to make some money off of Waller.
Yeah. I just feel like the quarterback, like you could stream quarterback if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, J. Mike just went late round.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Prescott.
Love
Bang.
it.
Yeah.
Still so many options. Daniel Jones, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers. Jesus Christ.
I like Daniel Jones.
Russell Wilson.
Daniel Jones about to mark.
I'll take Daniel Jones over Dak right
Dabo
there.
has that fucking team whizzing. And look what they did.
Not Dabo. Get out of here with your
Look
Clemson
what
Tiger. Dayball.
Look what they did with Richie James last year and Isaiah Hodgins, which we love Hodgins. Strong pick. Late round target. But, and they bring in Waller and they draft Hyatt.
Right.
And they bring in Paris Campbell, who they got involved in the backfield, and now Paris looked like he could be a threat. Like that.
Sterling Shepard playing in the preseason already
Back, baby. He's going to be great for about 4 games.
Yeah.
Hurt again.
him and Mike Thomas.
Shit, here, one of your last picks could easily be Slayton in these things. Like Slayton's been out there for a lot of snaps. He's been with the team. He's been pretty good. I like Slayton here, 14th, 15th round here as a Hail Mary pick. Hyatt, that's as much upside as you could probably get here late. But I like that the Giants receiving core is so cheap and we don't know who it's going to be, and we can kind of take some stabs on it late. It's not sexy, but it could really pay off if you get the right one. Let's see here. let's go over a couple of teams here.
All right, I already know who I'm taking here. Okay, I don't know who I'm taking here.
Yeah, Zay
right.
Jones is a good one. I have him in the queue.
I had him in the queue as well.
So,
Not the worst time to take a second tight end either. If you could get a good one.
Yeah.
so you guys would all come out of this draft thinking that you would maybe target a higher end running back over a higher end receiver a little earlier.
Yeah.
If it falls that way, sure.
Yeah, but the problem is where I was sitting at 11, 12, there wasn't a running back worth taking there. So I'm not going to overdraft a running back, but
You could have taken Derrick Henry.
I'm fine with Derrick Henry or Najee or
Just scared that he's going to fall off the cliff.
yeah, I don't want to get caught with that bag and redraft.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want the running back, I mean, I can't argue with you going CD and AJ Brown there.
Yeah.
But I'd be fine with Pollard or Henry.
And you
mostly
got
Henry
3
there.
running backs right there. I don't necessarily want those ones, but
I like those ones.
argue against it.
I'm with you there.
I think you gotta get some in the first 6 or 7 rounds. You gotta.
I mean, you
took Clyde, you son of a bitch.
great pick.
Definitely gonna take Clyde.
Great pick. Makes up for that Roshan pick. And
Just flip flop them. It doesn't matter.
so we
I'm gonna remember that.
some late tight end usage here. We got some Chig, some Everett, some Johnson, some Schultz. Jay Wayne doubling down on the tight ends.
I like to trade a tight end in redraft.
It feels like this little bit of no man's land here from 7 to kind of where you took Ingram at the end of 9. Feels like Freiermuth is probably a steal right in there. It feels like
I think people are worried about Darnell Washington.
Right, but I don't think in redraft for a year, I don't think you need to worry about Darnell Washington. I think they mostly brought him in, develop him. He's a freak. We can get a good blocker out of him.
Yeah.
We can run some 12. We can do different things with him. Pat was the second leading receiver on this team last year.
Yeah.
And now Allen Robinson coming in and playing out of 11 and being in the slot the whole time. That could be a bit of a bummer on Freiermuth overall. But then you just, I don't know. It feels
Penn
like
State on Penn State crime.
it feels like Freiermuth will probably be third in targets on this team or receptions on this team this year.
Yeah, I feel that's fair.
Probably Pickett, Pickens, or
Pickett,
Johnson, Pickett,
Freiermuth.
and yeah.
I don't know who
but
to pick. I don't know who I'm taking right now between Pickens and Johnson. I think I'm going to lean to Johnson still a little bit, but
I think in redraft PPR, I think you got to lean Johnson just because he didn't score any touchdowns last year. That's got to change. And he was still getting heavily targeted.
Yeah.
Canada's still there. He knows the role. He knows how to use him.
blame Canada.
Pickett came right in and targeted him pretty heavy. And Pickens is going to have those highlight great plays, and I think you're going to see even a step forward with Pickens here in year 2, and probably going to be worth every bit of that 7-2 that you paid for him. I think Deontay and Pickens will both have really, I think the Pittsburgh offense in general is just really going to take a huge step forward. I like Pickett. I like that offensive line. One thing that didn't, we saw the Jalen Warren run in the preseason there, but one thing that it seemed like nobody was crediting that the offensive line did a good job there.
Yeah.
And the guys downfield did a good job there. Like that's what we want to see. Like, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are in really, really good position. I think they come in second in that division. Is that hot fire?
I don't. See, I'm assuming you're taking them over the Ravens, correct?
Or assuming the Bengals are the best team?
I'm assuming that is correct.
Yeah.
Or are you saying the Bengals are going to finish third? I think that would be a hotter take than Pittsburgh finishing second.
Is that the best division in football this year?
Yes.
It's got to
Pretty
be,
damn
right?
good.
Gotta be.
I mean, the
AFC
NFC
West.
East has a possibility of being pretty tough
If
if Hal can play at all.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty competitive division.
I think the AFC North, though, is the best division.
It seems like everybody's got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Everybody's O-line's decent. The defenses are all pretty good. I think
you could
Cincinnati
say-
has maybe the short end of the
you
stick
could say
on
the same thing
defense.
about the AFC East as you could about the NFC East.
The AFC East?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Sure. Good call.
I mean, the AFC is so strong.
Yeah.
Except for
NFC
the
West
South.
down.
Oh,
AFC
NFC
West
West
down a
down.
little bit.
Ugh.
But Broncos could be on a little bit of a resurgence here.
Yeah.
Maybe with what we thought they would be last year, this year.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty top heavy with the AFC West with Mahomes and Herbert.
Right. So then three tight ends there for our guy J Mike. He goes Laporta and Ferguson, which I don't hate the idea of taking one of those young guys, which I mean I guess Ferguson could be considered a young guy because we haven't seen anything from him. And you get a breakout and drop your other tight end there. So at the end, taking shots, sure. I mean, we think about a Claypool shot.
It's good as any in this
Yeah.
range.
I mean, Fats with 3 quarterbacks in a redraft league, in the single quarterback redraft league is
Hate that.
interessante.
Yeah. If you took Josh Allen, like I mean, I guess I could if you want to take Kyler, throw him on your IR to start if that's possible.
Yeah.
And see what happens. But Big D gets Kirk D Cousins at the end there, so I like that. Nico could break out. I like Romeo Juju. Love that Juju pick there for. He kind of old Ryan Jay-Z bounced back a little bit. I like some picks there in the later rounds. Spears shot in the dark, but that's kind of what you're doing with some of these running backs. In the end,
Should I have prioritized Spears because I took Henry?
I mean, I'd be fine with it, but I don't think it's necessary. Who do you like on these late round picks? Who are some of your guys?
The Mechie was a good pick. I had him in the queue. I think I'm about to take Hodgins here. I already took a Giant, but I don't think I'm going to be upset about that.
I like that Chuba snatch right there.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do. I was running out of time, and he looked pretty decent in the preseason. He's
always been fine. Miles
is always
never the healthiest.
Devontae Parker could be a good pick right here.
Yeah, I mean Parker
Better than Alec Pierce.
Paris Campbell. But I like the Devontae Parker snag there at the end.
I just don't know. I mean, it could be Bourne, it could be Parker.
Sure.
I feel stronger about Pierce than I do about Parker.
Yeah, I think bounce back from Mac. I just feel about the quarterback play being a little better in
Potentially,
New England.
yeah.
But there's going to be some fun up and downs. I think with the Colts this year.
But I think with Richardson just letting a sling there and Pierce as the deep threat there, that could be real fun.
You're right. But DCHQ there.
I really wanted to take Keontae Ingram, by the way, but I.
See, wrapping in his quarterback at 14 there, man. That's what I like to see. Daniel Jones 13. I don't really. If I'm taking Hurts early, I'm probably not taking another quarterback. But Daniel Jones in the 13th, love that. Surprised Big D didn't go Daniel Jones at some point.
I mean, you could literally stream quarterback. I think there's still. I mean, I'm not sure what players are left still because I should have looked at that. But, I mean, Goff went in the 15th round.
Right.
He was a borderline QB1.
Right. I mean, Geno was QB 8.
Yeah.
5 or whatever.
Yeah, Derek Carr still available. I mean, not the sexiest pick in the world, but
right.
I mean, you could take. I mean, even someone like a Howell with the rushing upside there.
Yeah, I like the this group of running backs that JMW took here with Mitchell. There's big upside there. I gave Mostert his flowers. Wilson, was good when it was his turn. Takes Hyatt, big upside. Foreman, all he's done is just be a solid player when he gets his chance. And then Gus Edwards, God forbid that JK's not right. We could be all aboard that Gus bus pretty quick. That Deuce Vaughn as a last pick, interesting there. I don't think he'll end up being, I think he's more of a 4th round dynasty pick. That's kind of what you want in your 4th round, like a guy who's been an outlier his whole life but gets back on the field and looks good against which guys are going to be accountants for a lot of the guys he's looking good against, but he looks head and shoulders better than those guys late in those games. So that's kind of what you want in your 4th round dynasty pick. I don't know if he's going to have any value here in redraft 15-6. Probably putting the cart before the horse there a little bit, but whatever. DPJ, hold off Tillman and probably have a pretty strong role.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it seems likely, but I mean, as the 3rd wide receiver and maybe the 4th target there, what is it really? 4th or 5th target there? What does it really look like?
Yeah, I think J Mike put together a solid team. He's got two coveted. A coveted backup and probably the starter for Miami, and then Gabe Davis, Quentin Johnston, Mike Evans, JSN, and Ayuk. Man, there's so much upside built in there. Olave should be steady Eddie. McCaffrey's going to crush. if he's healthy. Ramondre, I love Ramondre, and Kenny Walker's like your third guy who you probably don't have to count on
exactly.
right away. Like that a good bit.
I'm trying to see, where did Debo go?
Debo went for 311. Yeah, to Jay Wayne's.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I saw Debo in the preseason, and it looked like, oh, my God. And then they were talking about how he was just super mad at himself and mad about the situation last year, how he was just terrible in all facets. It's all got to get better. And then, why were they forcing the issue with Debo in that game in the preseason? But it seemed like they were, and he had no problem just reminding you.
Yeah, I mean, I
think he has 330 total points in him as a ceiling.
I think he's a huge bounce back.
I don't think he's going to get to that, but there's too many things going on there. But if he's healthy, it's going to be wheels up.
He should have a solid floor every week. And just last year you didn't see it. He was nicked up a lot, missed big chunks, but you also didn't see. They got CMC halfway through the year, so Kyle now has time to. Those guys are pretty multiple players. What?
It's just that they're going to be scary good.
Right. And so they're very multiple players where you could do so much with CMC and Debo and just that's just a nightmare. Every week.
Aiyuk can
and Aiyuk's you're basically your true wide receiver out there who's just coming into being dominant.
Yeah.
And George Kittle is, probably the best yak tight end in the league. I mean,
right.
Who's better after the catch than Kittle?
Travis, maybe.
Travis is not better than Kittle after the catch. He's 34. You can't. No way. Kittle has just got that nastiness to him when he's got the ball in his hands running down the field. Maybe if Kelsey was 28 still and not 34. I think Kelsey's obviously still the best tight end in the league right now, but yak ability, I'm going Kittle.
We got a Dynasty question I got to squeeze in here again.
All right.
Our man Steve. Let's see here. Where was it? I think I didn't start. Where's that at? He says he's got a rookie draft this Saturday, Superflex tight end premium. He's got the 1-1, the 1-6, 1-9, and 1-12. He's got Burrow, Carr, Purdy, and Lance. He doesn't want to go AR at 1-1 because you should go Bijan.
Yeah.
So how much do you give up to get the 1-2 to try and take AR?
But I just don't understand what the purpose of going up to get Richardson. I mean, what are the quarterbacks again?
What do you mean?
Well, because he's saying he has quarterbacks.
I mean, I mean,
he said Burrow and Lamar.
Burrow, Carr, Purdy, Lance. I'm including one of those quarterbacks in there now.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, "Can I trade Carr and 1-6 to get 1-2?" And I'm like, "You can try.
You're not going to do that, but
that's not going to work.
You're probably going to have to give up 6 and 9 giggity, and
I would definitely give up 6 and 9.
And I said, and something else.
Yeah, without knowing the roster, you probably have to throw, a really good player in there with 6 to get up into 2. It all depends on the plus probably a quarterback.
He's defending champ in that league. He's got CMC, Aaron Jones, Gibson, AJ, that must be AJ Brown, Olave, Keenan, Nuke, Njoku, Tucker, San Fran defense.
Like Tucker, you said it's a rookie draft, but he's talking about Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think you need a good youngish, medium young, good player to throw in probably with 1-6 and probably throw in your the Derek Carr or the Purdy in there.
Yeah.
Soften the blow of losing the quarterback. So, I mean, if you want to try to get it done with just picks, then you certainly have to start with
the 6 and the 9.
6 and the 9 and
see what happens.
And he's probably going to turn you down.
Yeah.
Maybe you get the convo started, though.
What's the third wide receiver there? Keenan Allen. Yeah, it's not great there.
Yeah, those older wide receivers aren't going to help that.
No.
Keenan and Nuke are not going to. And Olave sounds like a lot to give up.
Yeah, I'm not giving up Olave in that trade.
Yeah, I just don't know. Brown. I just don't know if it really makes sense with that team. I mean, it makes
sense anytime you can go get Anthony Richardson. Go fucking do it. So I'm not mad at you trying to entertain that.
I just don't. I mean, would you give up 6, 9, and 12 to get Richardson
all day? 6, 9, and 12.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have to do that. You have to do that. I need to get something back, maybe a first next year.
Yeah, but are you really trading I mean, who's going at 6? JSN?
Yeah,
It's a good
Gibbs.
one.
JSN, and then you're taking either...
It's not premium, he said?
Let's pull up the ADP for the rookies.
Is it not premium?
It is premium.
Oh, well,
I mean,
then
you're taking-
then you're
taking
going to get
Kincaid.
Kincaid
Or Flowers or Johnson.
Flowers or Johnson. Yeah, so it's like you got some older guys on that team. It'd be nice to restock the cupboard a little bit here.
Yeah.
With some of those picks. Not that I'm kind of with Foreman here of I wouldn't force the issue if I could figure out how to give 6 and 12 and Carr for
Yeah. I'd even
For
go
that-
6 and 9 in Carr.
yeah.
But again, it's your cupboard's little, like you just said, it's a little bare there.
You got some older guys. You won the championship, which is cool. So you're playing with house money for the next few years.
And you got 3 firsts.
He's got 3
4
firsts.
firsts. He's got 4 firsts.
Oh,
Well, this
right.
is-
I'm
this is your chance-
forgetting that he's got Bijan already.
Yeah.
This is your chance to restock. And unfortunately, if you do it with picks, then like the quarterbacks you have outside of Richardson aren't that valuable as far like they're valuable, but they're not like all right, well I could trade up, go get Richardson and then trade, this other, another great quarterback for a haul to get back some of this, some of these players that I just basically got rid of. Let's say you had let's say you had Tua or something,
Yeah.
just a middle of the, or Daniel Jones. Like you can't.
Also,
you don't
he has
have that.
5 firsts next year.
Oh, well, then
Jesus
take-
Christ.
Then just
Use your picks this year
just,
or take.
just wait for Caleb Williams. Seriously, just wait for Caleb. I would right now.
I said I might hold off to get Caleb.
I would
Williams
rather have
next year.
Caleb Williams than
Sure.
Then,
But at that point, then if you want to trade away your first round this year to get Anthony Richardson,
and still have 5 next year, you
Still
can go
have 5
get
next year.
Williams if
That's
you want
fine.
it.
that's fine.
And it never hurts that. I'm assuming this is 12 teams. So yeah, because he's got 112. So
You don't need to.
you can, those quarterbacks are so valuable.
You got
that-
5 next year.
Yeah.
You could go get Caleb Williams, and you could have Anthony Richardson. You could trade Anthony Richardson in season if you want. You could trade Burrow in season. Do whatever the hell you want to do. But,
yeah, I mean, he could have Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. next year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, tank the team a little bit.
How do you tank the team though with Bijan and Joe Burrow
and CMC.
and CMC? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
And AJ
Yeah.
Brown. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
do
you're going to literally be tanking then.
But you have enough with 5 next year. Only one of them is yours, if any.
Yeah.
And so there's 4 others that
one of those teams is probably going to be bad.
one of them is going to be high enough up that you can just go ahead and trade a bunch to get that pick if you want. I mean, maybe it's another Bijan scenario and it's really hard to trade for that 1-1 next year. Apparently, 1-1 and 1-2 in Superflex. Marvin Harrison and Caleb Williams probably 1 and 2, and then you've got some other really good prospects too. So
Yeah, it could go May over Harrison Jr. depending on how May looks this year.
yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a running back inserted into that conversation too.
Yeah, I just don't know how strong I feel about the running backs. Like I feel like they're
Not right now.
yeah.
All right, let's get out of here. We appreciate everybody for coming and hanging out, doing a redraft mock with us. We'll probably do one more of these before the season
I'm not picking 112 again.
gets rolling. But we're slowly working into what we like, what we don't like with redraft here. We've been doing slow ones on the Twitter, so make sure you follow at the FF Dynasty. We usually throw a link out and let the last 4 or 5 people be the public, and then we throw it out in our Discord. So we're slowly building ADP, slowly figuring out how we like to build redraft teams. So by the time you're ready to draft, we'll have a pretty strong opinion of exactly how we like to move, how we like to roll, all the process and starting to get ready for your redraft drafts. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment below, get the notification that we're going live again on the Twitters or on the YouTubes. You can always hit us with the $5 holler on Discord or on Patreon there. Get a Discord member. We got rankings getting posted. We're going 3 extra shows a month.
Oh, they're
over
posted. They're live.
There. So
We'll have
doing
more
lots
coming.
of fun there, plus the Discord. Lots of good stuff. Appreciate you guys. Always fun going live. Always fun doing a draft. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Appreciate everybody that participated because it can't happen without all those mofos. Good to have
shout
old,
out to everybody in the draft.
Good to see Matt back. Good to have you back. Good chatting with you. And we'll catch you guys probably next week. We probably got a couple of pre-drops to hit again this week, and then we'll see you next week for another live edition
Be going live on Thursday for the Patreons.
Going live on Thursday for the patrons for show.
It's time to sign up. Go get in there. Get
Yeah.
into that pleasure chest. Grab yourself a beautiful butterfly.
Yeah, we're going to be continuing the discussion that we're having on live Mondays when we're in season, on Wednesdays or Thursday over on the Patreon. For more
Flavors in
conversation.
your ass.
So let's
When
get it.
Busta Rhymes come in at the end of that song.
So good.
I need to get that drop. I got a list of drops I need to get. Appreciate y'all for joining us. We'll see you next time. Peace.